Get ready for Real Estate Best Buys, brought to you by the law offices of Mark L. Shapiro, with your hosts, Jeff Tamburillo, Sandy Pastor, and Jeff Popick. Buying, selling, building, financing. Jeff, Sandy, and Jeff have decades of professional service in all things real estate. And now, it's time for Real Estate Best Buys.
Good morning, Southwest Florida, and welcome. You're tuned in to Real Estate Best Buys, the place for real estate Best Buys. I'm Jeff Popick of Marco Island Realty.
I'm Jeff Tamburello of Steelbridge Realty.
And happy after Christmas. I'm Sandy Pastor of Prudential Florida Realty.
The in-between of Christmas and New Year's.
The in-between, yes. It's the food versus the champagne, I think. Somewhere in between there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's
All
just
good
nonstop
things.
food and nonstop champagne. So, yeah, it's an interesting time real estate-wise. Inventory, like you mentioned.
You know, I was looking at it actually yesterday, and, a few days ago, or a few weeks ago, I should say, I mentioned that we had about 5,600 and change front doors available in the Naples MLS, and now it's 5,466. I mean, it's down again.
Wow.
Total of 169 foreclosures. There's 255 short sales. That's not a lot. I mean, certainly not what it was. Nope. And interestingly, in residential income properties, and we talk about those, the duplexes, the quads, those kind of things, there are no short sales.
They're non-existent.
None.
It's unbelievable.
And there's only 3 foreclosures, which is, I think, amazing.
Yep.
And the other thing which is interesting is our short sales go from about 6 million down to 10,000. So, I mean, it's the broad spectrum of the range. It's not just one section or the other, but the number of them is so low. It's unbelievable.
Yep. And it was interesting. I know Realty Track came out this week talking about some of the best places for a beach home. And Naples and Marco Island ranked 3rd on their list of the best beach town. They say homes are discounted about 40%. From
what?
Let's see, 40% below non-foreclosures, and on average, distressed homes sold for $156,000.
If you could just believe a thing Realty Track says. I mean, I think Naples is awesome too, but their data is about 300% overinflated.
Well, maybe we should be number 2 or number 1.
There you go.
Yeah, and we're only, according to Realty Track, for whatever it's worth.
Here's the scary part. If you're ready to retire, ready to buy a beach home, something somebody made up and wrote and put on the internet should not be your rule and guide. You know, where do you like to go? What do you like to do? Who do you want to live around? It's funny though, and I see this and that will make some agents' phones ring in Naples, and Naples is cool. I lived in Naples at one point. Naples is a nice place, but you know, it's that what are you here to do thing, and God help you. I mean, I always laugh because they want to go where the deals are.
Yeah.
I think there's some really cheap property in River Rouge, Detroit. You can buy a house for like $1,000. What a retirement home that'll be.
Well, it's price versus value, what you say all the time. It's not just about the price. It's
lifestyle and the value
lifestyle.
of your...
But that's all these made-up real estate shows on all the documentary channels, you know, all the guys flipping them houses, most of them guys have never flipped a house. It's a production thing, and they get a false representation of what the market is. And then we had somebody that watched them flipping houses shows. They called me up and wanted to be a flipper, and I'm like, dude, what?
You're not even a dolphin. How could you be flipper?
But he likes the dolphin.
That's right.
But it was funny. I had him in my office for about an hour, just whooping their butt, in the conference room. This is what the game really is. Here's a spreadsheet. Here's some deals we've done. This is what he really thought. He calls me up like, I need a house. I need to buy it for about 20. I need to be able to put 10 in it, and I need to be able to sell it for 100. And okay. And then on them shows, they never actually show him the costs in and out either, which he was shocked that there's actually closing costs. It was funny. I mean, after an hour, I think this kid got it. But God help him had he called the wrong guy. Yeah, sure, there's a house out here
and
for $20,000.
And you know what? You're absolutely right. I mean, I always say that our first and foremost job is education.
Yep.
And to make people understand real estate in general, but certainly the uniqueness of our markets where, the three of us work and play, if you will. It's and it's not only just about they want a price or they want this or they want that. That's pretty easy when you sit down and you really show them what the reality is. But at least in Naples, it's like, let's talk about what, as Jeff says, what ye are here to do.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your lifestyle? What do you want? What do you want? What's going to make you happy when you're here?
Yep.
That's really important. People need to focus on that because there's a lot of choices. There's a lot of options, a lot of good things to do.
Yep.
In any of our markets.
I've seen people that buy and then a year later they're selling because they don't like it and they realize they should have been 3 miles the other way.
And that's because you don't have an agent that sat down and talked about that. And that is, I think that is as critical as price. You know,
same thing with commercial. I've watched a guy recently try and put a round peg in a square hole. The deal didn't happen. It was probably the best way, but got a guy looking for an industrial building strictly on price, and I'm like, I can get you a really cheap deal on a building. You can't pull a vehicle through it, around it. It's not divisible.
You can't rent it.
Yeah, you can't do very much with it. And if you're looking for somebody that's want to store boxes in 10,000 square feet, they'll come out the front door only. This is going to be a great building for you.
But your cost per square foot's going to be great, right?
Yeah, but good luck using it when the world returns to normal again. And that's it's functionality. It's usable. It's
Yep.
And people, especially this downturn, it's all about, the bottom feeding, the deals, the foreclosures. And I see a lot of people that have lost sight with that. What, intrinsically, what is this? What especially on commercial. You guys buying, there's been a huge amount of office condo sales. And some of these office condos, I can't quantify. It would, if I wrote a check and then put a tenant in it with the HOA fees and the taxes, I probably only have to write a check for about $50 a month for the honor of owning the condo. And I know an investor that's buying them, and if he's got enough holding power, I think he'll be okay. But it's funny to watch, and intrinsically, all these offices didn't make it. No business in the offices made it. The location is absolutely horrible. And there was a note sale of a strip center on Pine Ridge. This is a couple of years ago. That this thing was like 88% occupied, performing in an amazing location. And everybody that I talked to about it threw up on it because, they wanted more money than what they were wanting to pay because some guy bought something down the road for this percentage of the UPB. But I'm like, this thing actually works,
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's a struggle for realtors, but I don't know if there's some level of distrust from the public.
It's well earned.
Of course there is. Absolutely
in 2005, 2006, 2007, realtors were saying now's a great time to buy. I mean, the story just never changes. So how do we maintain that credibility? And there's reason why there is distrust. So it's just, the burden is on us to, I guess.
It's like a doctor. I mean, you've got to do a little homework. You've got to investigate. You've got to meet with somebody, talk to somebody, and listen to what we say. And if that makes sense to you, and if we cover the basis for you, not just, I can find you 10 houses in this price range. That's not what it's all about.
Yep. And what I find compelling about this stuff, I mean, I know we beat up on Realty Track once in a while, but it's
every chance I get.
But it's the trend now. I mean, last week I think we talked about another article that was out. I think maybe you brought it in. And it's just a consistent trend now, which is interesting because for a while we were seeing the stories coming out whether it was Realty Track or Case Shiller and their reports on how bad the Naples market was and it's going to get worse. And so we could try to pick those apart. But
have you found a correlation here? There is a large part of the world that is addicted to unsustainable. They just cannot wait. Prices are rising. Get me in there. The time to buy was when they were accelerating 10% a month because at that point, price versus value, like Lehigh houses, at some point they were in the 40s. The guy that bought at 50, though, that bought the same house at 50 is doing just fine today.
He's doing just fine.
The APOD said, buy it. 8% a year, buy it. You know what I mean? 7% is a really good return. 8's even better, but... And then most people want to wait until the prices start going up, and when the prices go up, as go the taxes and insurance, and then the value goes down. It's just hilarious to watch. I'd rather hold through, even if the market's getting a little worse, your taxes and insurance are going to keep going down, and then at some point, you've got about a year buffer between the market and your taxes and insurance. So especially as the market begins to recover, you're going to have one really good year where your rents start to pop up and your taxes and insurance probably remain steadfast. And then when they kick in hardcore. But we're going to absolutely be unbelievably busy because the world is finally going to accept that we've recovered. Yep. This season's going to be the most amazing thing you've ever seen.
Oh, I think so.
I think it's already started. It is unreal.
And then we're going to spend more time explaining to them about why you can't buy what you were looking at 2 years ago.
Oh, I already do.
So
it's just a trend. And the ball is getting ready to fall pretty soon in a couple of days. And the new year's upon us, and it's going to be busy. So, folks, you're listening to Real Estate Best Buys. We need to take a break. We'll be back after this with some of the Real Estate Best Buys across all of Southwest Florida. Stay tuned.
Of course, you're going to enjoy that free bottle of champagne that Aries Title gives to our real estate investor clients with every closing. But Aries Title doesn't stop there. You'll really enjoy the substantial discounts off closing fees Aries Title offers to our investor clients. Aries Title enjoys working with Southwest Florida real estate investors who help make this such a great place to buy, invest, rent, and sell. The staff and attorneys at Aries Title provide investors with insightful strategies and smooth closings. Aries helps with smart strategies like purchasing property in land trusts and LLCs. Aries Title offers leading-edge expertise in short sale transactions and courthouse foreclosure purchases. Aries Title is Southwest Florida's #1 choice and Real Estate Best Buys recommendation for expertise in real estate closings, title work, and ownership strategies. To find out how to get your substantial discount and your free bottle of champagne, call Aries Title at 239-530-7111. That's 239-530-7111.
Affordable Landscaping is the Real Estate Best Buys choice for all your lawn and landscaping needs. Affordable Landscaping has been serving Collier County residents for over 16 years with the absolute best value in landscaping and lawn maintenance, and is currently the landscape contractor for the city of Marco Island. No job is too big or too small. Affordable Landscaping is your one-stop shop for all your lawn and tree service, irrigation, pest control, landscape design, and installation needs. Affordable Landscaping is reliable, on time, and offers quality services at affordable prices. Call Affordable Landscaping right now at 239-389-1468. That's 239-389-1468. No matter what your lawn maintenance or landscaping needs are, you owe it to yourself to give Affordable Landscaping a call. You'll save time and money and a great peace of mind knowing Affordable Landscaping is on the job. Call Affordable Landscaping for a free estimate now at 239-389-1468.
BudgetBlinds.com.
Ever gone to a store to pick out new window treatments? But when you finally get home, it seems they never look quite as nice as the picture on the package. Well, there's a better way. Budget Blinds, bringing our showroom to your home. With Budget Blinds, you can view many styles such as plantation shutters, draperies, or blinds, all surrounded by your decor. No more guessing. The result? A perfect solution every time. 20 years in business, Budget Blinds is the nation's largest window treatment retailer with a personal touch from local, knowledgeable consultants. And we go the extra mile. Free temporary shades, free removal of your old blinds, and free installation. And there's a reason we're called Budget Blinds. Best quality, best value, best service, all with your budget in mind. Plus our exclusive no questions asked warranty.
Come discover Budget Blinds. For special discount offers, visit BudgetBlinds.com. That's BudgetBlinds.com. Or call 1-888-88-BUDGET.
Budget Blinds, a style for every point of view.
BudgetBlinds.com.
It's time to get back with Jeff, Sandy, and Jeff, the trio with insight into today's Southwest Florida real estate market. It's Real Estate Best Buys.
Welcome back, folks. You're listening to Real Estate Best Buys, the place for real estate Best Buys. I'm Jeff Popick of Marco Island Realty.
I'm Jeff Tumbarello of Steelbridge Realty.
And Sandy Pastor of Prudential Florida Realty.
And let's change it up a bit here, Sandy. Why don't you go first with a super duper Best Buy?
Super duper Best Buy. We're going to start in Emerald Lakes, which is a nice single-family home community. This one is a 2,200 square feet, spacious home, new tile roof, 3+ den, 2.5 baths on a beautiful lake, and just waiting for a new owner. I mean, this is a regular sale. It's listed at $310,000. It's got a beautiful yard around it, your sunny, wonderful Naples, Florida palm trees. And the lake is actually naturally spring-fed, which is pretty cool. One of the few in Naples, and you can paddleboard or windsurf or fishing from the shore. It's even you can even have a small boat on this one. So an opportunity for somebody in a great location right off of Airport Pulling, right near Vanderbilt Beach, close to the beach, close to shopping, restaurants, everything and anything that Naples has to offer. So if you're interested in something like this, give me a call at 239-595, excuse me, 0714. Let's do that again.
It's all that champagne.
Maybe. 239-595-0714.
All right, Tombarello.
Oh, God.
Why do you call your own name?
I hear you. If only that were so.
The real estate
This would
god
be a
himself.
much more sane place if
Yep.
I ran it.
All right.
2305 Southeast 19th Avenue in Cape Coral. This is a Gulf access pool home built in 01. I'm going to say that again, 2001. Very hard to find, 2,565 square feet under air. Listed at $289,900. That's $113 a square foot. And this ain't going to last. This is what they come to town and look for. Nice dock. It's all there at $289,900. This is an amazing buy in the Southeast Cape as an 01 home. If you'd like more information, and we'll check it out when we're there in March, Mabel. That ain't going to happen. This is every boomer I've talked to that's come to town has generally came in with 01 and newer, this many square feet, pool, this has got just about every bit of it. If you'd like more information, you can give us a call at Steelbridge Realty at 239-567-9838.
And is that an NBI?
No, this is bank infested.
So
you have to use their little contract and all that.
Just checking. But still, that can be done.
That can be done. It's getting done somewhat efficiently these days.
You ever notice how, whenever banks get truly involved, how it just never, the banks got really involved in the real estate market and prices went to nothing. And then when they got really involved before that, to get themselves involved, they drove it to unsustainable. You ever notice that anytime the bankers are really involved in a business, it just never really works for anybody?
Except the banks.
Banks never confuse
not
bankers
even the banks
with business people.
In that case.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I've got a absolute best buy on Marco for a large direct access home. And I don't like repeating myself. Last week, talked about this house. This is maybe one of the only times I've repeated a property consecutive weeks, but they've just done a substantial price reduction. Last week, in my opinion, it was a best buy. Now it's off the charts best buy.
Next week we'll be gone.
And next week, I think, once we get past this holiday, which is a couple of days, I think it's just going to break loose here. This is 1429 Collingswood. Like I said, this is a large home, direct access. It's in the Estates area. It's 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom with an option for a 5th bedroom. It's got a grandfathered in large covered boathouse with a 14,000-pound lift. There was a $400,000 renovation back a couple of years ago. High-end everything, stainless appliances. The house has an open layout. It also has a walk-in wine cellar, massive walk-in closets, some electric storm shutters, and a 4-car garage. Almost 4,100 square feet under air. $999,900. This is the absolute best buy for a large home, direct access on Marco right now. When this goes, the bar jumps probably 30%. So,
wow.
Yeah. I mean, this one's
huge.
hanging out there like...
like we were talking about Key Marco. I mean, the cheapest lot I can find between the two MLSs is 99. There was a huge amount of lots for what, 50, 60 not too long ago.
Even unbelievable. And they're gone.
At some point they're gone. And most of the guys in Key Marco need to sell for about 300 to want to sell or, recoup their basis. So if you miss it, the next 4 or 5 that are left, then
it's pretty much missed.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some that were bought for 30, 40,000. Those are a dream now. Those are an ancient memory. So it's really interesting to see what's happened and is continuing to happen. So anyway, 1429 Collingswood. If you'd like to see it or get more information, don't wait. Give me a call, 239-450-3000. And I think maybe we should take a quick break, and we'll come back with some more Best Buys. Folks, hopefully you're getting ready for a great new year. We are here, and we'll be back after this. Stay tuned.
Opportunity is knocking. Become a member now. The Southwest Florida Real Estate Investment Association was established in November 2003 and is now an industry leader. The Southwest Florida Real Estate Investment Association has been on the cutting edge of data gathering and analysis of the housing downtrend and foreclosures. Our analysis and trend reporting has made us an expert source for the media and set standards by which the housing market is analyzed and trended within the industry. Our members are real estate investors, real estate agents, title agents, insurance agents, landlords, property managers, wholesalers, rehabbers, note buyers, hedge fund managers, bulk asset purchasers, foreclosure and probate investors, and people just like you who are looking to gain a competitive edge. Our motto is knowledge withheld is knowledge wasted. Join us and check us out on the web at www.swflreia.com. That's www.swflreia.com.
Hi, I'm Sandy Pastor of Prudential Florida Realty's Park Shore and Ritz-Carlton offices. I'd love the opportunity to put my dedication, knowledge, and years of experience to work for you. Call me at 239-595-0714. If you want to buy or sell that beautiful home on the Gulf or on a championship golf course, I can help. I'm also certified and experienced in short sales and foreclosures with both buyers and sellers in this very specialized type of real estate. Today, more than ever, it's important to work with an experienced and knowledgeable realtor. Naples is my home and my specialty. For a free market report and other information, call me, Sandy Pastor, 239-595-0714.
Hello, my name is Tim Ivey. I'm married and the proud father of 4 beautiful children. I cannot think of anything more important than their protection and safety. That's why I'm proud to speak to you about Aegis Microbe Shield, a state-of-the-art, environmentally friendly antimicrobial product which can be applied to all surfaces. It provides a permanent barrier against germs and microorganisms. This green technology was developed by Dow Corning and has been used by NASA, the NFL, and even the United States Army. And now it's available to you. My company, Microbial Block, is the exclusive provider of the Aegis Microbe Shield technology to all of Florida. It has been proven effective in homes, hospitals, assisted living facilities, schools, athletic facilities, and more. For a free quote, call me today at 239-300-7585. That's 239-300-7585. Or you can log on to my website at www.microbialblock.com. That's MICROBIAL block.com. Microbialblock.com.
It's time to get back with Jeff, Sandy, and Jeff, the trio with insight into today's Southwest Florida real estate market. It's Real Estate Best Buys.
Welcome back, folks. You're listening to Real Estate Best Buys, the place for Real Estate Best Buys. Just talking about some New Year's celebrations here. Why don't you get us started, Sandy, with a Best Buy?
Okay, I am going to talk about one that I have mentioned before. It is amazingly still available. This is the beautiful 3-bedroom, 3-bath, all-en-suite condo in Allegro in Park Shore, listed at $1,175. This is still amazingly the Best Buy, toes in the sand in Naples, and just will continue to get better. So this will is already starting to get a lot more activity, and once, like you said, the holidays are over, this is going to be slammed. So it's been totally renovated from walls in, new plumbing, new everything. This has the beautiful Santos mahogany floors, lots of sunlight. It's got hurricane shutters, beautiful Viking kitchen, of course the granite and the stainless and all that good stuff. But it is a beauty, and not like much else there. It truly has the best view of anything on the beach. So if you are interested in something like this, I would love to show it to you. And I also wanted to mention in Park Shore, for those of you that have boats, there are boat docks across the street available, and definitely golf access. So give me a call and we'll take a look. Sandy Pastor at 239-595-0714.
All right, Tombarella, what do you've got?
Apple cider moonshine.
All right.
I've 12340 Flintlock Lane in Fort Myers, Florida. 6-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,480 square feet under air on 1.25 acres. This is in Fort Myers, north of Daniels Parkway. You're just in the middle of everything. The airport's there. It's a very, very cool location. Very nice home. Granite countertops, front loader, washer and dryer in it. New carpet, new paint. $219.9. That's $49 a square foot for a very nice home on 1.25 acres in an amazing location.
But you say very nice. Is it a rehab? Does it need rehab?
I'm telling you, when I'm looking at the pictures, it looks like the bank went in and completely redid the place, and whoever was in there really. But
that's amazing.
I mean, $49 a square foot, and wow. And the square footage size of it does skew the price per square foot. But $219.9, it's an amazing home with a pool on an acre. I mean,
where is it?
Wow.
Dude, in Fort Myers.
Where in Fort Myers? I know you said by Daniels.
North of Daniels Parkway. Here's 41. Here's 6 Mile Cypress,
yes.
And it's in that box,
Okay.
and that's an awesome location.
So it's west of the 75.
Yeah.
Wow. That's unreal.
If
Let's
you'd
go
like
buy
more
it.
information, we should, Jeff. You and I
There
could
you go.
live there when our wives finally get tired of us. We could be the vegetarian and the meat eater living together. One of us will convert, probably.
That's right.
Ain't
The
gonna be
veggie
me.
burger wrapped with bacon.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you'd like more information, you can give us a call at Steelbridge Realty at 239-567-9838. That's an amazing buy.
That is an amazing buy.
We can go and just have a New Year's party over there.
Yeah, I think the bank would probably be mad. Especially
It wouldn't look like that when you guys were finished.
I don't know if
That's
they'd be
for
mad if
sure.
we invite them. We just, give them a drink or two.
they may be planning to have one there.
Yeah, that's right. All right. I've got a lot that's just come on the market on Marco. You want to get your coffee ready? This is not a tip lot.
Oh, he said it though. There
I
you
said
go.
the word tip lot, and my co-hosts drink every time I use the word tip lot.
Coffee.
That's right. We assume. This one is one in from the tip. It's looking out at Landmark Bay, which is a huge bay, one of the largest on Marco. It's a gorgeous bay. This is 1110 Aztec Court. $475,000. And again, it's an extra large key lot, 140 feet of seawall, huge open views to the Landmark Bay, Landmark Waterway, and quick out to the Gulf. An amazing property, $475,000. I don't see this one being around too much longer, but if you'd like more information, by all means, give me a call, 239-450-3000. Sandy, what do you have?
Okay, I want to talk about this is a condo. It's in an area called Coach House. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, almost 1,500 square feet, and it is asking $90 a square foot, or $132,000. This is a regular sale. There is a community pool here. It's right off Airport Road. Amazing location, great school district. It needs a little bit work. It is sold as is, but is a regular sale. It also has a detached garage space. But to have a home in this location that's a 2-2, you really can't beat it. So an opportunity for somebody to come down and, I always say, put their toe in the water and see if they really, really love the area, which of course they will. I think we all three can attest to that. Yep. And it's a good rental too, for sure. This location is unbelievable, close to the beach, close to shopping and restaurants and downtown and just about everything. So this is something you may be interested in, a good opportunity for somebody. Again, the asking price is $90 a square. At 132. So give me a call, 239-595-0714.
All righty, and it's coming up on that time to take a quick break, but we're going to come back after the break and be joined by David Crow. He's the chief economist of the National Association of Home Builders. It'll be interesting to hear his take on what's happening in the market and the
cliff,
pending fiscal cliff. And it's just funny. I had this vision during the election. This was before the talk of the fiscal cliff. And this is not political, but Obama's slogan was forward. And in my mind, if I could draw pictures, I had this cartoon in my head of him and his followers wearing these shirts that say forward. And then you kind of turn the camera and you see them all walking forward to a cliff. And so that was before.
You're psychic.
Aren't I? And
you're psychic.
Very
That's
interesting.
Scary.
It would have been a funny cartoon, actually. But
No, that isn't. There's nothing funny about this.
Lemmings.
Lemmings, there you go.
There you go.
All right. Again, you're listening to Real Estate Best Buys. That's my cartoon for the day. We'll be back after this. Stay tuned.
There's a wise old saying, you cannot build a solid structure on a shaky foundation. Nowhere is this truer than when it comes to the construction of your next house or commercial building. Often overlooked, concrete is one of the most important parts of the building process, so be sure to call the best in concrete construction. General Concrete Corporation. General Concrete builds slabs that are level, walls that are plumb, and buildings that are square. This will save you time, money, and headaches now and well into the future. Call General Concrete at 239-571-1100. for a free quote on any size job. New homes or commercial buildings, remodels, additions, even patios and sidewalks. General Concrete gets it done right the first time. Call General Concrete now at 239-571-1100. That's 239-571-1100.
Of course, you're going to enjoy that free bottle of champagne that Aries Title gives to our real estate investor clients with every closing. But Aries Title doesn't stop there. You'll really enjoy the substantial discounts off closing fees Aries Title offers to our investor clients. Aries Title enjoys working with Southwest Florida real estate investors who help make this such a great place to buy, invest, rent, and sell. The staff and attorneys at Aries Title provide investors with insightful strategies and smooth closings. Aries helps with smart strategies like purchasing property in land trusts and LLCs. Aries Title offers leading-edge expertise in short sale transactions and courthouse foreclosure purchases. Aries Title is Southwest Florida's #1 choice and Real Estate Best Buys recommendation for expertise in real estate closings, title work, and ownership strategies. To find out how to get your substantial discount and your free bottle of champagne, call Aries Title at 239-530-7111. That's 239-530-7111.
In today's competitive real estate market, timing is everything. Steelbridge Realty LLC is a licensed real estate brokerage headquartered in Lee County that utilizes cutting-edge marketing techniques to offer solutions in today's market. Steelbridge Realty's group of professionals have decades of experience and have navigated through many business cycles. If you own real estate that you're thinking of selling, we would be happy to provide you with a free competitive market analysis. If you have any general questions about buying or selling land, residential or commercial real estate in Florida, call Steelbridge Realty at 239-567-9838. That's Steelbridge Realty at 239-567-9838. Or you can check us out on the web anytime, day or night at www.lee-county-homes.com. That's www.lee-county-homes.com.
It's time to get back with Jeff, Sandy, and Jeff, the trio with insight into today's Southwest Florida real estate market. It's Real Estate Best Buys.
Welcome back, folks. You're listening to Real Estate Best Buys, the place for Real Estate Best Buys. I'm Jeff Popick.
I'm Jeff Tamburello.
And Sandy Pastor.
And we are joined now again with our esteemed guest, Dr. David Crow, who is the Chief Economist and Senior Vice President of the National Association of Home Builders. He does a lot of forecasting on housing and economic trends. Always interesting to have him here. David, thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me. Good to be with you.
Yep. National Association of Home Builders came out with another report, the new home sales figures. Looks like they're up 4.4% from last month. That's a good sign, isn't it?
Yes, it's a very good sign. It continues to be the same sort of signs in other indicators, housing starts, housing permits, even home prices are increasing. So this is general trend towards modest but nevertheless positive housing news.
Yeah, and we've talked a couple of times about the improving housing markets, 201 now. When does the next report come out?
Next report is due out the first week of January.
Okay, so we'll look
out early in the month.
We'll look forward to that. That'll be interesting. And what are some of the states that are showing the best improvements? Is it Florida, Texas, California? What are the best ones?
It's really broad-based this time around. I mean, we have metropolitan areas in 44 states that are showing improvement. So they're in Florida, they're in Texas, they're in California even. So even some of the places that had pretty devastating housing impacts are starting to show some signs of recovery.
Yeah, and we were one of those, certainly. Florida was amongst the worst, if not the worst, and now we are in a boom. I would call it an outright boom. So it is interesting, and it is a trend here going on. So here's one of the $64,000 questions. This fiscal cliff that stands before us is how do you feel that that's going to impact the trend?
Well, it's already begun to impact it by consumer confidence. So we've already seen one of the consumer confidence indexes collapse pretty dramatically this month. And I think as the longer this stalemate occurs, the worse that will become. Consumers will pull back from certainly large purchases like homes, but even more mundane purchases until they have a better idea of what the future is going to look like. So this really could have, it's already having an effect, even though we haven't passed that so-called magic deadline of the end of the year. And the longer that lasts, presumably now, it looks like even into next year, the more uncertainty you cast in everyone's mind.
So is this, I mean, I guess with what you've said, there is going to be an impact financially, but is it largely an emotional impact?
Thus far, it's an emotional impact. If there's some resolution and we don't end up with higher taxes and significantly lower government spending, it will only be emotional. But if they don't come to any kind of an agreement, then it really is economic, and we run the risk of another recession.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's scary. That's really scary.
Yes,
I'm a bottom feeder. I like recessions.
We've determined that you are a little bit on the weird side.
Yeah, no, I like recessions. Stuff gets cheaper. It still pays you more to own it. So
if you've got the money to do it.
Some of the wounds, though, haven't quite healed yet. So it would be nice to avoid that for a while.
Put a Band-Aid on it and ruck up and move forward.
There's the Marine in you talking.
They're right. Well, you got to worry about the job market, too.
Well, yeah, but that's also improving, it seems.
Well, I mean, depending on what happens.
Well, sure. David, what is the financial impact to the average American? Do we know?
Not exactly, because there's so many cross impacts that are going to occur. I mean, the tax bite alone is in the thousands of dollars, even for a middle-income family. But there's a lot of repercussions if the government suddenly, abruptly stops spending money. That means jobs, and that ripple effect can trickle through a lot of other people's lives. And if home buying ceases, then we have all of the construction jobs and all the manufacturing jobs that go into creating the building goods have an impact. So it's very difficult to say what the ultimate impact is, but it keeps on trickling. The longer this goes on, and the deeper the potential changes could be.
Well, and like you said, it's this uncertainty is almost as bad as hopefully not, but reality. I was talking to a Midwest builder this week, and he was saying that a lot of people have just put on the brakes until they figure out what is going to happen and how long it's going to take and what the impact is going to be.
Yeah,
exactly right.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, we've been ramping up and we've been seeing these improvements now for a couple of years. And, the major builders, Lennar and so on, are just buying and building. And it would be unbelievably horrible to see that grind to a halt.
From a macro picture, what you're going to see is the high tax areas, the New York and New Jerseys, the PAs, the Ohios, the Michigans, the areas that inherently cost more to function in. We just sold a building in Venice to a guy that pulled his business out of Pittsburgh and came to Venice, and because it's just cheaper inherently to be there. And you're going to look at if you have capital, you're going to have to go where you can preserve your capital.
Wow.
And truly, I see this as they're going to put capital in preservation mode versus grow it mode. And inherently for us in Southwest Florida, we're a good place to preserve capital.
Yeah.
So for us, I'm excited about the future no matter what, because I'm going to make a good future in it. But when I see the fiscal cliff is going to do nothing but chase people with money out of places where they tax money, and we don't tax money as much here.
Yeah. So, David, last question for you. I mean, let's say you were the supreme ruler of this country, and
and didn't have Congress in your way.
That's right. There was no politics involved, none of that stuff. You are an economist. You're the chief economist for the National Association of Home Builders. What's the answer to this? Can you give us a quick 30-second or 60-second version of what you think needs to take place here?
Well, I think the nuggets of it are already out there. We're going to need to raise revenue somehow. As much as people don't like to pay more taxes, we've got to face the fact that we're financing a government on borrowed money. 40 cents of every dollar spent by the government is borrowed. You can't keep doing that. At the same time, you certainly have to reduce what you expect the federal government to do. So both sides have got nuggets of those proposals in there. It's just a question of how much of each that lies in the confrontation.
Yeah.
What's the sense actually in Washington today, let's say, of this happening, this getting done by Monday?
Yeah, I would say at this very moment, it's not very optimistic. I would bet on the fact that
I've heard both this morning. That's why I wondered.
There's a feeling that maybe there's just a lot of posturing, and then at the 0 hour, they'll come up with something. I mean,
it's a great outcome. Either side can blame either side, and they still do what kind of needs to be done in
Eventually.
about 10% of what has to be done.
I think we should just blame you, Tombarella.
I could fix it today. Roll the whole government back to the 06 budget. That's what we're taking in for revenue. It completely balanced. You can actually start retiring debt, and the debt you roll over, you'll roll over into today's interest rates. You'd have money to retire principal. But,
right.
That would require a grown-up running the place.
Those are the words of the great Jeff Tombarella.
But it makes sense.
If you make a dollar, you spend a dollar. That's how we live.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, David, thank you very much for joining us again. Hopefully we'll have you on again.
And Happy New Year.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year to both of you, all three of you.
Happy New Year. The National Association of Home Builders recognizes housing and housing providers as the strength of America. And Real Estate Best Buys is proud to bring the NAHB comments to our listeners. For more information, check out nahb.org. Folks, you're listening to Real Estate Best Buys. We'll be back after this.
Of course, you're going to enjoy that free bottle of champagne that Aries Title gives to our real estate investor clients with every closing. But Aries Title doesn't stop there. You'll really enjoy the substantial discounts off closing fees Aries Title offers to our investor clients. Aries Title enjoys working with Southwest Florida real estate investors who help make this such a great place to buy, invest, rent, and sell. The staff and attorneys at Aries Title provide investors with insightful strategies and smooth closings. Aries helps with smart strategies like purchasing property in land trusts and LLCs. Aries Title offers leading-edge expertise in short sale transactions and courthouse foreclosure purchases. Aries Title is Southwest Florida's #1 choice and Real Estate Best Buy's recommendation for expertise in real estate closings, title work, and ownership strategies. To find out how to get your substantial discount and your free bottle of champagne, call Aries Title at 239-530-7111. That's 239-530-7111.
Looking for tenants? You should know that the most important part of property management is qualifying tenants, yet many overlook this vital step in the process. Michael Lyons with Zivkovic and Associates Real Estate Services specializes in property management. In fact, he currently manages over 400 homes. He's a licensed real estate agent and also licensed as a condo association manager. Additionally, Michael is completely fluent in Spanish. Michael Lyons has resided in Southwest Florida his entire life and enjoys doing property management. If you need help managing your home or just want a tenant placed, call 239-560-6164. That's 239-560-6164. Or visit his website at www.swflpropertymanager.com. That's swflpropertymanager.com.
Hi, I'm Sandy Pastor of Prudential Florida Realty's Park Shore and Ritz-Carlton offices. I'd love the opportunity to put my dedication, knowledge, and years of experience to work for you. Call me at 239-595-0714. If you want to buy or sell that beautiful home on the Gulf or on a championship golf course, I can help. I'm also certified and experienced in short sales and foreclosures with both buyers and sellers in this very specialized type of real estate. Today, more than ever, it's important to work with an experienced and knowledgeable realtor. Naples is my home and my specialty. For a free market report and other information, call me, Sandy Pastor, 239-595-0714.
It's time to get back with Jeff, Sandy, and Jeff, the trio with insight into today's Southwest Florida real estate market. It's Real Estate Best Buys.
Welcome back, folks. You're listening to Real Estate Best Buys, the place for real estate best buys. I'm Jeff Popick of Marco Island Realty.
I'm Jeff Tumbarello of Steelbridge Realty.
And Sandy Pastor of Prudential Florida Realty.
And Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year, absolutely.
It's going to be a good year, I think, despite the cliff and despite...
I definitely made more money last year than I did the year before, and more money the year before than the year before, so I'm not...
Yep, absolutely.
Not an unhappy person.
And it's a trend.
It helps not to sleep.
All right, who's up here? Sandy, why don't you get us going?
Yeah, I just want to close the year with a couple of listings I've talked about before, just to bring them to your attention to going into next year. One of them is my beautiful courtyard pool home with the cabana in De La Salle. This is a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 3,000 square foot home. Oversized pool, 2-car plus garage, has a lake view as well. From the living room, dining room area, as well as the bedroom. Master bedroom is huge, probably one of the largest walk-in master suite closets I've ever seen. Absolutely fantastic, fabulous. This is listed at $598. It is one of the best buys for sure in De La Salle. So if you're looking for a large, sunny, open, beautiful home, give me a call. I'd love to show you this one. It's 239-595-0714.
All righty. Tumbarello.
Okay. 2-2, second floor condo in Terra Verde, 17150 Ravens Roost, unit number 10. 2-2, 924 square feet, built in 91. Great location, South Fort Myers, beaches, Coconut Point, everything, $59.9, $64 a square foot. It's a great buy. Looks like it's in great shape. Newer kitchen, covered parking. You just, wow, $59.9. I mean, again, if you're in town and you're looking for a condo, if you wait till the end of January till you take a couple kayaking trips, this won't be there. So, but give us a call at Steelbridge Realty at 239-567-9838.
You know, I just realized you're pretty much paperless these days, huh?
That's me.
Wow, you're a modern sort of guy.
He's saving the trees.
You know what the beauty is? The paperless guy doesn't have to do as much work. I can just show up with a laptop.
That's it's the way to go if I could only get there. Anyway, I'm going to talk.
You might have to get even just a smartphone to be able to do that.
You know, I am such a dinosaur.
You still got like that bag phone in your car, I think.
You know, I've always said I want a phone that's a phone. You know, I don't want it to drive my car for me. I just want a phone
unlike
that's a
Jeff
phone.
and I, who sleep with this thing in our hand.
Funny stuff. I'm going to talk real fast about another property I've spoken about a couple of times to close out the year. This one, I just don't understand how it's still around. This is 773 Holly Court. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom with a den. Over 2,000 square feet under air. It's a little bit funky. Could use absolutely an updating, but it's got a new seawall. The bones of the house, if you will, are good. It's in relatively good shape. It just needs an updating. $369,900. This is amazing. Don't wait. I think once we get past the new year, this one will vanish. And then again, the bar goes up a few rungs on the ladder. So give me a call, 239-450-3000. We need to take a break, and we'll come back with a few more Best Buys before 2013. Stay tuned.
Looking for tenants? You should know that the most important part of property management is qualifying tenants, yet many overlook this vital step in the process. Michael Lyons with Zivkovic and Associates Real Estate Services specializes in property management. In fact, he currently manages over 400 homes. He's a licensed real estate agent and also licensed as a condo association manager. Additionally, Michael is completely fluent in Spanish. Michael Lyons has resided in Southwest Florida his entire life and enjoys doing property management. If you need help managing your home or just want a tenant placed, call 239-560-6164. That's 239-560-6164. Or visit his website at www.swflpropertymanager.com. That's swflpropertymanager.com.
Hi, this is Tim with Microbial Block, a service provider of the Aegis Microbe Shield technology. It's an antimicrobial spray that, when applied, becomes a part of whatever surface you are applying it to. It forms a microscopic layer of pins that carry an electrical charge, and when bacteria or germ-causing microorganisms come in contact with this layer of pins, it pops like a balloon. Since it's a mechanical kill of the microorganism and not a chemical kill, the layer of pins remain on the surface to kill again. This is a green technology, so it is safe for use in any application, whether it is at home, work, school, nursery, church, or at the mall. If you see Microbial Block's green and blue shield, you know you are being protected from germs. Microbial Block, active defense against germs. Call us today at 239-300-7585 or check us out on the web at microbialblock.com. That's MICROBIAL block.com. microbialblock.com.
Affordable Landscaping is the real estate Best Buy's choice for all your lawn and landscaping needs. Affordable Landscaping has been serving Collier County residents for over 16 years with the absolute best value in landscaping and lawn maintenance, and is currently the landscape contractor for the city of Marco Island. No job is too big or too small. Affordable Landscaping is your one-stop shop for all your lawn and tree service, irrigation, pest control, landscape design, and installation needs. Affordable Landscaping is reliable, on time, and offers quality services at affordable prices. Call Affordable Landscaping right now at 239-389-1468. That's 239-389-1468. No matter what your lawn maintenance or landscaping needs are, you owe it to yourself to give Affordable Landscaping a call. You'll save time and money and a great peace of mind knowing Affordable Landscaping is on the job. Call Affordable Landscaping for a free estimate now at 239-389-1468.
It's time to get back with Jeff, Sandy, and Jeff, the trio with insight into today's Southwest Florida real estate market. It's Real Estate Best Buys.
Welcome back, folks. You're listening to Real Estate Best Buys, the place for real estate Best Buys. I'm Jeff Popick of Marco Island Realty.
I'm Jeff Tamburello, Steelbridge Realty.
Sandy Pastor of Prudential Florida Realty.
You know, you got to take a little bit of the Boy Scout mind. You know, you got to always be prepared.
I am.
All right. It was close there. It was a close call. Anyway, Sandy, you got another buy.
I just want to mention one more time our single-family home, 5-bedroom, 3-bath in Saturnia Lake. This one's listed at $419,000. It's a 3-car garage, beautiful pool home, gorgeous yard, regular sale. So if someone's interested in this area, and Saturnia is the one with its own little private mini beach, and as well as the lap pool and all the great amenities.
Yep. And it's a great area of Naples.
It's a great area, absolutely. This is a beauty. So if you're interested in something like this, give me a call at 239-595-0714.
All right. Tamburello, you got any final words for 2012?
Yeah, don't drink and drive.
All right.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Make sure you just...
So, in other words, you will not be driving.
No, I generally always have the parties at my house, and we all just pass out, and it's fun.
And spend the night.
Coconut shrimp, too. That's kind of our New Year's Eve tradition. Make some coconut shrimp. But, don't drink and drive. It's definitely amateur night, and it's not worth...
Yeah, no, absolutely.
$20 cab ride will save you $5,000 worth of heartache.
Oh, yeah. At least.
And that could be a best case scenario, considering the alternative.
Or death, or worse than that, someone else's death.
So, that's right.
Yeah. So. But hopefully for all of you and everyone that 2013 is the best year ever. Best year yet on every front. Health and happiness to all.
Yep.
And Happy New Year. And thanks for listening, you guys. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Folks, you've been listening to Real Estate Best Buys. This about wraps it up for us for 2012. Make 2013 a great year. And we wish you all your best buys to be Real Estate Best Buys. That does it for us. Thanks for listening.
Be sure to listen to Real Estate Best Buys every Sunday morning at 10. Brought to you by the law offices of Mark L. Shapiro. In the meantime, if you need help buying or selling property on Marco Island, be sure to call Jeff Popick of Marco Island Realty, 239-450-3000. That's 239-450-3000. For help in Naples, call Sandy Pastor of Prudential Florida Realty at 239-595-0714. That's 239-595-0714. And for all your real estate needs in Lee County, call Jeff Tamburello of Steelbridge Realty, 239-567-9838. That's 239-567-9838.
Hi, folks. Jeff Popick here. If you're looking to purchase a Best Buy in real estate, whether a home, condo, lot, or commercial property, you should know that it costs you nothing to have an insightful and experienced realtor work for you and represent you. I have been an active real estate investor spanning almost 3 decades and also have my real estate license to help other people achieve their goals too. My specialty is representing buyers on Marco Island and in Naples find real estate best buys. I'm Jeff Popick of Marco Island Realty, and I invite you to call me without any obligation to discuss how I can help you too. Call 239-450-3000 anytime to speak with me personally about how I can help you achieve your real estate goals. That's 239-450-3000.